friends. I just got back from working on my classroom. It's Saturday, and oh my goodness, I am pooped. It is 7:30 in the evening. My husband and I actually went twice to my classroom because I had forgotten my rug and some other things that I needed help with. So we came back and had lunch and went back to my classroom and just got home. And I went, oh, I need to cook. So quick, easy weeknight meal, one of our go-to recipes, chicken alfredo. So what you need for this are 2 chicken breasts. This is almost 2 pounds of chicken breast. We need a package of bow tie noodles. I just get the Walmart brand, and this is a 12-ounce package, and I'll use the whole thing. And a jar of Alfredo sauce, any brand that you like. So what you're going to do is cut your chicken into bite-sized pieces. And it's pretty easy with a cutting board, and I have a Santoku knife from Pampered Chef, but you can get, you know, knives anywhere. It does not have to be a Pampered Chef knife. I just was a Pampered Chef consultant for a while, and so I got lots of good Pampered Chef equipment from my kitchen. I'm just gonna cut these the other way now. I did make a bag of pre-cut chicken, but I want to save that for when I'm just beyond tired. And I can deal with this today because I didn't have kids. I just worked in my room, which was a different kind of tired. You know that it's like a physical activity kind of tired. A walking back and forth and trying to figure out where to put everything kind of tired. Not a mental and physical breakdown of exhaustion tired as it is at the beginning of school. Okay, so I've got my chicken cut up. I've got a skillet. Going to turn it on. Turn my light on here. I'm going to move the camera a little closer to the skillet, maybe, so you can kind of see more of what I'm doing. I think that will be good. I'll move it over more after I get my chicken in there, but I personally don't cook with oil because I don't think I need it, but I may spray this chicken. I actually patted it dry because I have learned that it browns better. So I'm going to just put a little, this is just a non-stick olive oil spray. So I'll put a little bit of that in there. You could just drizzle some olive oil in there too if you wanted. And my heat is on, and I'm going to dump my chicken into the pan. Alright. I also need something to move it around with. Here we go. A spoon. Not a nylon spoon that won't hurt the non-stick pan. Okay, I'm going to add some salt. Just a few little shakies. I like crazy salt also because it's a mixture of herbs and spices. It has dehydrated onion and dehydrated garlic. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there, not a ton, just a little. And then I actually like to get the mixed up garlic seasoning because it has different types of garlic, I think. Garlic, salt, spice, and onion. So it's kind of a double of what I just did, I guess, but it has a little bit of different flavor. So put a little of that in there. Some pepper to taste, and I'm gonna pepper it more once I get the Alfredo sauce mixed in, but right now I want to cook it into the chicken. And then I'm gonna skip the onion because there's a lot of onion in what I just put in there. Okay, so you're just gonna move it around and get it cooked. See how it's turning white? I don't know if you can see that. Let me get this closer for you. Closer. Hello. There we go. Weird angle. It's turning white, so it's getting cooked. All right, let's put that there. So we'll cook this up and then show you what else to do. All right, see how the chicken is just puttering away here. Don't really see any pink left. It's looking good. And you see some of the chicken broth coming out. We're going to keep that in there because of the flavor that it brings. So I think it's, I'm going to cut that chunk a little. Ooh, you can get in some steam. All right, so there's our chicken looking good. Make sure that there's no pink. And cut this little dude. He's a little big. See if I can get him cut up a little more. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Well, that one's okay. Yeah, I'll quit fussing with it now. All right, so that looks really good. So let me show you what I do next. Okay, so our chicken looks really good. I've let it sit for a little bit. I'm going to turn down the heat to medium. I'm going to pour in the entire jar of Alfredo sauce. I'm going to get a spatula so I can scrape it out. I don't want to miss any of that creamy goodness. This is just the classic Alfredo that I use. There are so many different kinds. There's like garlic Alfredo, there's basil Alfredo, I mean just whatever you like. And honestly, I've started researching food this summer and the additives in food because I have health problems. And food additives can contribute to my health problems, and I never really thought about it before. But I guess I'm getting older. I'm thinking about those kind of things more. And a lot of foods have MSG in them, which is known to cause headaches and other kind of like neurological problems. And unfortunately, this particular brand has MSG in it. So we're going to use up what we have and then not get that anymore. The Classico brand does not. So I will either get a different brand or I will just start making my own because it would be healthier anyway. You could cut down on the fat if you wanted to. Okay, so I've stirred it together. I'm going to add some more pepper. It might help if I turned the water heat on. The noodles would probably boil better if I had the heat on. That's okay. It won't take too long for it to heat up. Okay, so now I've got some pepper in my sauce here. Sorry about all the banging, trying to get that sauce as much as possible back in the pan. Okay, and then you see it start, can you see it starting to bubble a little bit? Bubbling just a little. Okay, that's what you want. You don't want it boiling because you don't want your sauce to burn because it's a milk and cream based sauce. So we're gonna put the lid on that and we're gonna turn it to medium low. And if it seems like it's bubbling really, really fast, you want to turn it down a little bit more because you don't want it to burn. So I'm going to be waiting on my noodle water a little bit longer than I thought. So I'll check back with you in just a little bit. One piece of advice I have for you when you begin cooking your meal is to get everything ready so that you're not scurrying around when you really need something. So I had all my ingredients out and I had all my seasonings out. Well, I put them away now. They're just right here. But I did have them out on the counter. I've got my noodles open, ready to pour into the boiling water, and it's getting there. It's starting to bubble a little. It needs to be a rolling boil. So while your chicken is cooking, you can actually be getting other things ready. Like I put water in the pot and forgot to turn the water on. So, you know, that's taking a little longer, but don't do that. Get out your seasonings before you start cooking. I have my garlic in my press ready to squeeze. I have my butter ready for my green beans. The green beans are already in the microwave ready to go. I have a colander ready to drain the water from the pasta, and then I have a trivet to hold the hot pasta pot. So I'm not going, oh no, now I have a hot pot and I only have one hand and what am I going to do? So think ahead if you can, and it gets easier the more you cook because you know what you need. But if you have everything ready, here's my, I like to use this to separate my pasta in the water. It just seems to work really well for me. You use what you like. I also have my bowl ready to put my noodles and my Alfredo sauce together in. It's a nice big bowl so I can mix it up really well. Oh my goodness, you know it's true. A watched pot never boils. I think it knows I'm talking about it and it's slowed down. So don't get distracted while you're cooking and forget to turn on the burner because you'll be waiting for the water to boil. So normally, you just let your chicken Alfredo simmer. See how nice and bubbly that is? I turned it all the way down to low as it would go before the burner was actually off. So it's just bubbling away, and you want to stir it occasionally because it will burn or stick to your pan, and then it's not going to be as tasty. So this is not something that you want to like go watch a TV show while it's cooking. It's not something that can be left alone for a long time. I mean, if you need to make a phone call real quick, that's fine. If you need to run and grab the mail, if you need to use the restroom real fast, just don't like pick out your whole outfit for next day and get out your jewelry and all that kind of stuff. You don't have time for that. You need to be watching this and stirring it occasionally. Okay, eventually your water will boil and then you can cook your pasta. So I will get back to you when that's happening. All right, my water is finally boiling along. Look at that wonderful boiling water. Let me move my lid over here to the trivet so it doesn't burn that counter. Then we're going to pour our pasta into the pot. Now I did put a little bit of salt in my water. If you haven't already salted it, go ahead and salt it now, and that will give your pasta a little more flavor. You don't have to put oil in the pot. It's not necessary. It won't stick together as long as you're stirring it around every once in a while. So do that. It needs to cook around 10 to 12 minutes. You want it al dente, which means to the teeth. So it should have a little bite to it. So I'll show you how I check it to see if it's done. I've given my Alfredo sauce a stir, and it's slowed down its bubbling just a little. And it doesn't hurt it to sit here and wait for your pasta. It just helps to infuse those flavors. So it'll be really good. Another thing I really like to make with chicken Alfredo as a side is steamed broccoli. And I actually like to mix mine into my chicken Alfredo, but my husband does not like broccoli at all. Everybody likes green beans, so I tend to just do green beans because it's easier. So that would be our whole meal, is chicken Alfredo and green beans. And you could also throw some garlic bread in with that. That would be really good. Okay, let me try and show you how I check to see if the pasta is ready. You can tell after you've been stirring it for a while that it tends to get, it feels a little fluffier or thicker or something. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it gets a little more translucent. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but when you cut into it, it should feel a little firm but not crunchy. And then you know it's done. So that's al dente, to the teeth. So this is finished, and I'm sure you can hear the microwave running because it's right next to the camera microphone. But I've started my green beans at 4.5 minutes on high. So while that is doing its thing, I will go drain the pasta, and then I will mix up the pasta noodles and the Alfredo sauce in the big bowl, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I have drained my pasta, and I've rinsed it with cold water to stop it cooking because you do not want soggy pasta. Ew. So pour it into your big bowl. And I do mean a big bowl. You're going to need a big one. And then grab your Alfredo sauce with your chicken in it. Give it a stir. I use a heat-safe spatula to get all the sauce out. I'm just going to pour that over my pasta and then scrape out all that yummy Alfredo sauce. Get as much as you can out of there. There. And then I can put that in the sink. And then with this scraper thing, get it over here, you're going to just kind of blend it together, kind of fold it in a little so that all of the noodles get covered. You can hear my green beans are done, and I can show you how I finish them off. I was saying, fold your sauce into your noodles. You can use any kind of pasta you want. You can use fettuccine Alfredo noodles, you could use penne, you could use the farfalle, which is the bow tie like I have. You could use macaroni, whatever pasta you like or whatever you have on hand. Just go for it. It's going to taste good no matter what kind of noodle you put with it. All right, I have drained my green bean juice, and it's very hot. I'm going to take a clove of garlic and mince it through my little press. Scrape it in there. Clunk. And I'm going to take about a tablespoon of butter and let that, I'm going to mix that around and let it melt. You can get it to the bottom, then the glass dish will help do the melting. Kind of cover it up with your green beans, and that will insulate it and help it do a really good job. All right, well, that butter was melting. I took the opportunity to clean up things a little bit. I rinsed my utensils off and things that I wasn't going to use anymore, and I threw them in the dishwasher. I went and grabbed my freshly shredded Parmesan. You can use the shaker kind, it's fine. And grab, I don't know, a couple pinches, a couple tablespoons, I guess, probably. That looks about right. You don't want a ton. And then just mix that in. And it's so good. The cheese, can you hear the cats playing with, there's a playing with a lid, like a water bottle lid on the floor. That's what that funny noise was. Anyway, I was saying, when you mix in the cheese, it gets all melty. Oh, it's so good. You can kind of see that it's starting to melt a little bit in there. It's gonna be so good. All right, that is ready. There is the buttered and garlicked and the Parmesan cheesed canned green bean. Yum. Right, here it is all plated up. I love parsley, so I sprinkled some parsley over mine. Got some green beans. There's a nice hole here that would be a great place for garlic bread if I had any. So if you have garlic bread, that'd be good. Or you can make garlic toast. I'm just not in the mood. So yum, yum, yum. Bon appetito. Hi. I worked in my classroom a really long time today, like all day long. And I am so tired, and that's why I look like this. So, I'm feeling the teacher burnout already, and I've only been in 3 times. Not good. Tomorrow I'm going to stay home, though. Tomorrow is the start of the Teachers Pay Teacher sale. Yay, the back to school sale, where you can get like up to 25% off or something. They changed it a little. It used to be up to 28% off, and now I think it's like 25 or 26% off, whatever. It's a good deal. It's a good time to get stuff that you've had on your wish list for a while. I've got some things I want to get, and then tomorrow will be like a printing, laminating day and cutting out day and hopefully sleeping day. That would be good too. Anyway, the whole point of this little segment is another easy weeknight meal, even when you're like dead tired. So I've got my little meat smusher. It's got a special name. I don't remember what it is. It's a Pampered Chef tool. You don't have to have one. It just makes my life easier. So I'm making super yummy, super awesome taco salad supreme. And you'll see why the supreme in just a minute. So you're going to need a pound of ground meat. I have very, very lean ground beef in my pan. You can also use ground turkey or ground chicken. Those will be good too. And then you're going to brown it up. I'm going to turn on my heat. You will also need some taco seasoning. I like this Spanish Gardens taco seasoning for this recipe. This is not the same seasoning I use when I make tacos, and you'll see why in a minute. And you're going to need taco sauce, whatever brand and level of fire intensity that you like. I'm a weenie, so I like mild because I cannot stand the spiciness. So this will go into. And now for the supreme part. Corn. Black beans, and my husband likes chili beans. Also, we will add cheese and sour cream. So I'm going to get that browned up, and then I'll show you how to doctor it up and make it supreme. All right, while you are browning up your meat, you're going to want to season it just a little, not a ton, because the taco seasoning and your taco sauce will have a lot of flavoring in it too. Just a little bit of salt. Sorry about the door. A little bit of pepper. 2, 3, 4, about 5 turns. And I like to put a little bit of onion powder when I can get a hold of it. Okay, shake for that. You can hear it crackling, so I need to start moving it around. There we go. Turn my heat down a little bit. Okay. If I could think of the name of this tool, I would so tell you. I really don't know. If you really want to know, you can go on the Pampered Chef website and look it up. I don't know what it's called. Chop and something. I don't know. I'm not going to try anymore. But it's nice because it breaks up your meat for you into smaller chunks. And I don't know if you can hear my husband. He's mowing right out front. And so it's kind of a weird time of day for us. Everything's a little later than normal because I wasn't home earlier, so I wasn't able to get supper started earlier, so we're having to wait for supper a little bit. But, okay. All right, so I'm going to let that brown up, and then I'll show you what else I do. Okay, once you've got your meat all browned, then you're going to add a tablespoon, if you're using this kind of taco seasoning, add a tablespoon of that, or you could use one of these packets. They're easy to do too. I'm trying to get away from those because those actually have MSG in them, and this does not. So I'm trying to use up all my kind of icky stuff first, and then not purchase it anymore. Okay, so I've got my tablespoon of seasoning in there. And I'm gonna take this jar of taco sauce that I've already opened and pour it in the meat, the whole thing. And then scrape it out with my little scraper. Get all the saucy goodness out. You can use any brand, any type that you want. You could use salsa if you wanted to, if you like chunky stuff. My family does not like chunky stuff, especially my husband. He does not do vegetables. And so you have a cow, there were chunks in his food. So there's a little bit in the lid here. Get out. Okay, put that over here. Now we're gonna kind of got outside the pan there. Stir it up here really good. And then it just kind of simmers like spaghetti sauce. It doesn't take very long. You just want to simmer it till it's heated through. And it can sit, like my husband just started mowing. And so it could sit here on low for a very long time. Just check it periodically to make sure it's not sticking too badly or burning. But this is one of those meals that will wait for you. And it's really, really good reheated, so it makes great leftovers. Okay. We will put the lid on that, which I left over here when I drained the meat off. I forgot to tell you that. Once you brown your meat, make sure you drain off the grease because you don't want to be eating that stuff. Well, make sure my temperature is on medium-low. And then I forgot to also tell you that you'll want a bag of like cheap nacho chips. You don't have to get like fancy ones because what we do is we crush them up and we put them in our food. So there's actually no salad in our taco salad because my husband doesn't do lettuce or tomato or anything mostly. So really this is like a taco bowl, I guess, not a taco salad. So anyway, so we crunch up chips and then we like to have kind of like a little taco bowl bar going where you can just put what you want. So I've got, like I showed you before, the corn, and you just heat these in the microwave for about 4 minutes. The black beans, they don't take as long. They start to pop if you heat them too long. So only about 3 minutes probably for those. And then just some mild chili beans like you'd use for making chili. It's really good. And then I like to have out sour cream and what else do you put on taco salad? Hello. Cheese. Oh my goodness. That's how tired I am. Yeah. So, if I can do this when I'm like this, you can do it too. Let me show you what it looks like when it's all kind of put together in a bowl. It's so good, and it would be a great leftover to take for lunch the next day. And then you can just heat it up at school, and you got a yummy meal right there. Perfect. So you can see that my meat sauce is bubbling away, and I didn't mention that with the corn and the other, well, you wouldn't season the other things anyway, but with the corn, I don't season it because it's going to go in that stewy kind of stuff, that awesome taco seasoned meat, and so it doesn't need any seasoning. It's really just good by itself. You will want to either drain it, or I like to drain just a little bit of the water off of the corn, then cook it, and then drain the rest of it off so that it doesn't get too dry when it's microwaving. And the same thing with the black beans. I leave it in its juice while I'm microwaving, and then I just use a slotted spoon to serve it up. That way they don't get dry while they're in the refrigerator too. Now the chili beans, I never drain off because it's in a kind of a special spicy sauce too, and that just adds to the flavor of your taco bowl. Yep. So, super yummy, and I'll be back to show you the finished product. When I get nacho chips that I know I'm going to use just for a recipe, I don't get the name brand like Doritos or whatever, because honestly it doesn't really matter because the flavor is all going to blend together. Now I have noticed that like the more generic chips tend to be saltier, so you might want to take that into account when you're seasoning your meat. You don't want to add as much salt like I did. I didn't add very much salt. What I do, since we don't eat these as chips, I just open the bag just a little bit and then I crush it up in the bag, the whole thing, and that way we can just pour a little bit into our bowl for our taco bowls. About it. That's all you got to do.